right, guys. So I meant to do this yesterday, but so because of that, I'm putting two MCU movies in one video. So, starting with the first one we're talking about today is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, the sequel to the 2018 film Black Panther, and obviously this movie was a difficult making due to the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman. They lost their main actor, and now they had to work with what they had to basically restructure the movie and rewrite the movie post him passing away. I'm sorry. Sorry for the noise in the background. But we so Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Although, yes, you can feel the fact that this movie is missing T'Challa and missing Chadwick Boseman. This movie's still great. It's still a great movie. It's bigger than the first one, like scope-wise. It's much bigger. We're dealing with more parts of Wakanda, but we're also dealing with a new country in the people of Talokan and Namor, and I was always, don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't think Namor is like a terrible character. It's just not one of my favorites, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of nervous seeing him come into the MCU, but the way they wrote him and the way they kind of altered his character is so great. He's like so, like, you understand where he's coming from, you don't agree with his actions, you don't condone his actions, but you understand where he's coming from, and that's what any great antagonist can do. And I love Namor in the film. All the characters from the first film are back, and they're great. M'Baku absolutely 100% steals the movie for me. He's so great. Just, you bald-headed demon. I love that. And then just the way he eats there's one part where he's just like in the throne room, and there's also someone says something and he starts yelling at them, and then Okoye like slams her staff on the ground, and all of a sudden just look at the one carrot, the way he eats it. But it's so funny. If I had issues with the film, just like when I first saw the movie, I didn't necessarily care about Martin Freeman's character, Everett Ross. I loved him in the first film, but in the sequel, the subplot involving him and Valentina, who shows up again in Thunderbolts, I just felt like that subplot was so unnecessary, and it served absolutely no purpose beyond, hey, we got this movie that we want to do. It's called Thunderbolts. Valentina is a very important character in that story, so let's just have her in here to set that up. Like, that's kind of what it felt like to me, and I kind of wish that they had just left it out. Maybe turn it into its own like special presentation on Disney Plus or something, But it just didn't fit here. It just didn't really. It slowed the movie down for me, But overall, I think this movie's great. Yeah, there are other nitpicks I have with the movie, but overall, I just think this movie's great. It's emotional. It is so incredibly like powerful, especially towards the end, and that mid credit and that mid credit scene, just so powerful. And it's just so it's a very emotional movie to get through. Honestly, there's a reason why I don't think I could always go back and rewatch this one, and it's because of just how emotional and how heavy of a movie it is. It's not a very lighthearted comedy like Thor Love and Thunder was. It's a very heavy and a very dour movie, but it does have its nice spots. There is some humor in the film. There's a lot of great action. It's great. Do I think it's better than the first film? No, I don't think so. But again, It's great. And I also thought, I am also one of those people who actually, I'm okay with the fact that they made Shuri the new Black Panther. I think that's a good choice. Now, did a part of me want M'Baku to take the spot? Yeah, but I'm glad he becomes the king. I'm glad he becomes the king of Wakanda. But yeah, I was okay with, because it made sense. And it's not like Marvel was never going to make Shuri the Black. It was bound to happen at some point. It's just that the circumstances behind how we got here just kind of sped up those plans a little bit. And, but yeah, look, I love this movie. Incredibly emotional. And I honestly think it is a loving tribute to Chadwick Boseman, especially near the end of the film. There's a very loving tribute there. And it's so great, so emotional. And it is a whole lot better than the movie I'm going to talk about next. Ant-Man. So I just finished watching Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now, look, guys, I try to be as kind as I can, even with things that I don't like. I love the first Ant-Man. Second one, I didn't like as much, but this movie I think is absolutely terrible. This movie's terrible. I really, really, really hated this movie. This movie is so terrible. So here's the thing. This movie's biggest mistake is that it doesn't know when to slow down. When to actually slow down, take time, give the characters time to develop, show the relationships, where are the characters at? Like the beginning of this movie, we should have had an entire opening act. The entire first act should have been Scott. Where's he at now? What's his relationship with Cassie like now? What's his relationship with his buddies, with his friends, his family? What's life like for him? We literally only get 12 minutes of it, and then we're in the quantum realm. 12 minutes, and we're in the 12 minutes, and then boom, quantum realm time. We gotta go to the quantum realm because we can't just, God forbid, we take time to develop our characters. Nope, we just gotta go straight to the quantum realm, because that's what people want to see. Yay! They don't care about characters being developed. Who wants that? And also, there are just so many things that happen in this movie that are now never gonna have any payoff. Like, the Council of Kangs? In fact, I straight up, I was on the phone with Michael, and I was watching the final post-credits scene of the movie. I laughed so hard, like almost fell on the floor laughing when the title cards, Kang Will Return, came up on the screen. I laughed so hard because it's like, nope, never mind. Jonathan Majors likes to hit women. Never mind. Just, nope. Jonathan Majors likes to hit women. Never mind. We are not. Kang Will Return on Disney Plus, and that's the last time you'll ever see him. The last time you will ever see Kang will be on Disney Plus in Loki Season 2. Yes. There's your finale for your big bad of the guy who was supposed to be the big bad of the MCU. But also, there are just so many things that happen in this movie. There's so many things that happen in this movie that I'm just like, what was the point? What was the reasoning for that to be there? Like you have a group of characters who are freedom fighters, and they just one guy's like, oh, I don't have holes, and then by the end of the movie he has a bunch of holes, and he's like, I have holes, yay! That's your big what is I'm watching this and I'm just like, what is happening right now? And don't even get me started on MODOK. Oh my gosh, watching MODOK in this movie is like, it's the kind of bad that you literally have to go to church and ask for repentance. Like, it's just that bad. Like, MODOK, surprised to see me, just terrible CGI, and it's literally like, I feel like several times I'm looking at God and I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just couldn't. I couldn't. I legitimately couldn't believe this movie was even worse than I remember it being. You know, don't get me wrong. I always thought this movie was bad, but this movie's worse than I remember it being. Because this movie's bad. It's bad. Like, I am such a fan of Marvel. I am such a huge, look at my shelf. Look at my shelf. I'm a huge Marvel fan. I have the Marvel movies. I watch all Marvel breakdown videos. I have a Shang-Chi poster and a Guardians of the Galaxy poster right next to each other. Thor Ragnarok poster over there. You know, Spider-Man posters over there. I love Marvel. I'm a huge Marvel fan. But this movie is so bad. It makes me embarrassed to be a fan of these guys. It makes me embarrassed to be a Marvel fan. Like, this is like the kind of bad, the same level of bad that I felt when I watched Batman vs. Superman in the theater. Because when I walked out of Batman vs. Superman in the theater, I felt embarrassed to be a DC fan. Watching this movie, I feel embarrassed to be a Marvel fan. Now, granted, yes, Marvel has made so many great movies that it kind of outshines all the garbage that they've made. But this is like bottom of the barrel. This is not just a bad Marvel movie. This is a bad movie in general. Like, this is like, honestly, this is now one of my least favorite movies of all time. And my score for it has gone down significantly. The lowest score I have ever given a movie is a 1 out of 10. And I've only given that to 6 movies. I now have a 7th one, and that's this movie. This movie's awful. Awful. All caps. That will do it for this review, guys. That will do it for this review. Join me tomorrow, and we will talk about... what's the next one up? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Finally, we're gonna get back to watching some good movies here. Stay tuned for my review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.